Welcome to the radio, July 13th, 2020. Here's your host, John Santo. Thank you, Mr. Soprano. It's great to be back for another episode of the radio. Mr. Producer, which episode is this? It's like 33, I think, right?
32. I think it's 32.
32. I really need to get a better... I'm going to write down this week's episode is 32. So then I know next week will be episode 33.
Yeah, you could actually announce it. Welcome to episode 33 of John Santo's
33. Well, this is welcome to episode 32. I really should know, since this is my show, what episode we're on. That's bad hosting.
The radio, a good show done quick.
Done quick. No, I actually spent, I was, as soon as I get off the air at 10 o'clock on a Monday, after being the number one radio show on Mondays at 9 o'clock on this network, no other show comes close, am I right?
Nothing, no, like the numbers don't even register on their show compared to yours.
Zero. There is no second place show.
No.
On this network at this time on Mondays. So, but as soon as it's 10:10, okay, I'm already working on next week's episode.
I believe it.
So 10 minutes after this show ends, in about an hour from now, I'm already working on episode 33.
Yeah. Well, preparation is the key to success, and that's why you have the number one show on this time slot. On this network.
At this time, on this day.
I mean, you really destroy the competition. Like, there is no no competition. Can I go out on a limb and say that?
Yes, there's no competition. There's none.
Literally.
It's funny because when I was at the Strong Island television radio
Christmas party,
a couple years ago, we had a great. By the way, that was a fantastic. If I didn't tell you then, 2 years later, I'm going to tell you that was a fantastic party.
Thank you.
And so all the other shows were there. So people that I see on TV all the time, even though they're in the same studios that I have been in, it's kind of cool to see them all together in one place at one time.
Yes, it is.
It's like the reunion episode of a TV show.
It's a family reunion, yeah, pretty much.
Family reunion. So someone said, not everybody knew who I was, so I introduced myself. I said, I'm with Laughter Saves Lives. At that time, I was just doing that show. I said, and we're the number one TV show on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. on Strong Island Television. It's like, oh my God, it's so nice to meet you. I guess the best.
It's impressive. It's impressive.
It really is. It really is impressive. So people are probably wondering why we haven't introduced our special guest co-host yet. We're hoping he comes on. We have a great co-host. I won't say who it is, just in case he doesn't make it. Hopefully everything is okay. But we're just going to await his arrival. When he comes on, we'll introduce him. In the meantime, today is the anniversary, Mr. Producer, of the blackout of 1977. There were lightning strikes at the time that happened to hit major power-producing plants in New York City, knocking them offline. And New York City had a huge blackout. Shea Stadium was filled with people. They were having a game, and the lights went out. Auxiliary lighting, emergency lighting went on. Let me just see. There was also a blackout, I believe, on this day in 2019. I'm confirming that.
2019? You're talking about last year?
Yes, Manhattan blackout, July. Yeah, because I remember them last year saying that.
Really?
That the mysterious blackout of last year, there was a concert going on, I think, and the lights went out. I think it was a J-Lo concert. And the lights went out, and then the auxiliary lighting went on. And then people had to make their way out of Midtown. They had to go north but all the lights were out. Like a whole grid of New York City was out. So,
well, I don't remember that, and I don't remember the one of 77. I was only 10 years old, and I was in Long Island, so I probably was.
I was even younger than that.
Okay, but I do remember. Much. Do you remember the blackout? It was somewhere. It was in 2000.
All right.
I don't remember.
August 14th, 2003.
2003? Okay.
August 14th, yeah.
I remember that because I was taking my father to the doctor, and while we were at the doctor, all the power went out, and we came home, and it was still daylight out, so you really didn't really feel the effect of it 100%. But then it went dark, and that's when the whole Northeast grid went out.
Yeah.
And
so let me tell you something about that blackout. When I was working at Aviation Week at the time, and I'm in Manhattan. It was August 14, 2003, and I remember it. Like everybody was like, so I was working on an Excel document. It was a Thursday afternoon. I hit save, and the power went out. I'm like, holy crap!
Did it save it in time?
So I don't know. I don't find it out till the following Monday. I don't know. I had made like a lot of formulas, a lot of macros, a lot of stuff. I hit save, and then I'm like, someone said the power went out. I'm like, yours too? I said, the whole building is out. The whole block is out. The whole city's out. I'm like, oh my God, how big was that Excel file?
What did you do?
I'm thinking to myself,
Oh my God.
So then somebody thought, because now they're saying, okay, well, wait a second. It's not just the city, it's Long Island. I'm like, all those are separate power companies, Con Ed and all this are separate. Niagara, whatever, up in Canada. I'm like, so someone said, I wonder if it's an EMP attack, an electromagnetic pulse, which is the blast, the electrical effect of a nuclear weapon. It knocks out everything with an electronic device, everything, phones, computers, TV. You're back in the 19th century in an instant.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, the cars are still working. So if the cars are working, it's not an EMP. Because cars were still running. So it couldn't be an EMP attack. At least not on the city. It could have been an EMP attack on the power grid, but not on the city. Because the cars were still on. So it was like crazy. And I got lucky. I got a bus out of town. I got into Queens, and my friend picked me up there in Queens. But it was like there were no lights.
Nothing. It was.
But you know what? Everybody pulled together. There were ordinary people directing traffic.
Yeah.
Ordinary people directing traffic. Because if you don't have people directing traffic, guess what? Everybody has the right of way.
Yeah. No, it was a different world.
And then we had the Sandy blackout. So remember that blackout?
Yes, I do.
Highway?
Absolutely.
So people, when you so let me ask you a question, Mr. Producer. When you come to a traffic light that's out, not flashing, not doing anything, it's just out. What do you do? What do you do with a traffic light that's out?
Well, you got to make a move. So you got to yield, look all ways, and then when the time is right, you got to go. You got to do what you got to do. You can't sit there.
No. Well, no, I know, but what I'm saying is you make a stop when you come to an intersection.
Oh, yeah, obviously, yeah. If it's out completely, I mean, you'd be stupid just to assume that nobody else is coming anywhere. So
as I suspected, you're a very intelligent person, so you knew the answer. But now, okay, so let's say you're zooming along on Sunrise Highway, you're cranking, you're doing 45 miles an hour. Do you have the right of way over those side streets, or does everybody have to come to a full stop?
I think technically the main road should have somewhat sort of the upper hand, but common courtesy, you should, if you're getting close to an intersection, you should definitely slow down a bit. Yeah,
you should stop. So don't stop.
Yeah.
Here's what's. You want to hear what some crazy maniac told me about Wantor Avenue?
What's
that? Wantor Avenue, Jerusalem Avenue, they're both 2-lane roads. They're both main roads. Somebody told me that because Wantor Avenue is the name of the town, that road has the right of way. But and I'm sure everybody knows that.
On the radio,
are about to hit you. They know that I think we have a co-host.
We have a very noisy co-host.
We have a.
He's really coming in with a lot of
Just write it down.
Hey, Rich. I don't know where he is. I couldn't
Guys,
tell. Hi, we're here.
I am so sorry. I ruined the whole show.
No, you didn't ruin the whole show.
I was out to dinner with my family, and I completely forgot. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Unbelievable. I'm going to sit in the back seat of the car. This is terrible. I'm so sorry, guys.
This is a radio first. Guys, we do it. And well, first let me introduce my special guest co-host. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, in the back seat of a car, my special guest co-host. Say your name, please.
I think he froze up.
I think he froze. It's Rich Walker.
Hello.
I think he's probably not on Wi-Fi.
Live from the back of a car.
Live from the back
of a car. Is that better?
A little better. We got him now.
Oh, you must be so mad at me.
Why? No, we're not mad.
Okay, let's talk. I'm good.
I think maybe Rich should call in, Bobby. What do you think?
We're not going to be able to take a phone call and the Zoom at the
we
same
can't take a
time,
phone
unfortunately. Yeah.
Via Zoom, okay.
Richard, are you on a Wi-Fi? Like, are you pulled up to your house getting any Wi-Fi, or are you just on regular data?
I think Rich is on regular data. I'm on Wi-Fi.
Yeah. All right, so that's why we're pretty much having the issue because
Can
of
you
the
get
connection.
me now?
Yeah,
we can hear you,
we're not concerned about the video. We just need to hear you. So
How about now?
that's good. I would
Yes.
stay there. Don't
I
move.
took myself off of Wi-Fi and went on data.
There you go. Okay, cool.
Cool.
Excellent. Again,
All right,
my apologies.
No problem. No, we're just glad to have you on the show. So let's reintroduce my special guest co-host. Please welcome
Rich Walker.
Rich Walker is here. Rich, welcome to the radio.
Thank you for having me on.
This is Blackout Day, Rich, today. This is the blackout from New York City in 1977. And also, 2019, there was another blackout in New York City.
That was the biggie.
That was a big one.
I heard 9 months later, 247,000 children were born. Yeah.
So what's been going on with you? I see you've been stargazing.
I have. Look, I'm in the car with my son. Say hi.
Hello.
Yes.
I met your son on the cruise. We went on a cruise.
We went on a
great
cruise.
Great cruise.
And
We just happened to be on the same ship.
We were on the same ship, and then you rebooked it the year after, but we didn't rebook it.
So we rebooked for just a Bermuda only cruise for
Right.
April, and it got canceled. I just got the refund last week.
Really? They want to credit you for another cruise?
They did, but I don't know when we're going to go, and I don't know if the Norwegian's going to. I don't know what they're going to be like in a year if the pandemic continues. They might be out of business.
They keep sending me stuff.
Yeah, me too. I'd love to go on another cruise. And I told them, I said, look, if Rich Walker's on that cruise, just book me now. I don't care what the price is. Just book me.
Right. I don't know. I'm so ready for another one. So let's talk about this. The last cruise we went on an excursion.
Yeah.
And we went to Kennedy Space Center, but not together.
We didn't go together, but you know what, though? Looking back on it, because all my children do is complain the whole time, I should have just gone with you. Because they didn't like it like I liked it.
I don't know. I don't know if my family enjoyed Kennedy that much. Did you? No.
I loved it.
I guess, you know what? I think you have to be of a certain age to enjoy it. You know, like you can't really absorb, and you can't absorb the amount of technology that goes into it. You know what I mean?
Yes. It's an incredible amount of technology.
Like you said earlier, I'm now into astrology, and I bought a telescope. I was out walking one night with my wife, and we were looking at Saturn. I mean, that's Saturn and Jupiter. They're running together this summer. Yep. And I said, I would love to see that up close. So I decided to get a telescope. And in 2 days, it was delivered from Amazon, and it's a pretty good one. And and I've seen Jupiter. I've seen the rings around Saturn. I had a little problem in the beginning. Remember, I was asking everybody for help.
Yeah, I looked up a couple of articles, whatever I could remember having read myself.
Well, you helped me out a lot. Right. Yeah. Well, what I did was I had to focus till it gets this big. And then when it starts to get big again, at that point when it's tiny, that's the actual focal point of what the planet should look like. And then you use the lenses or the eyepieces to magnify it to certain degrees.
Right.
You know?
Yep. It's hard. It's not easy in the beginning. It's a little complicated.
Yeah, you have to figure it out, but well worth it. You don't have a telescope?
I don't. My friend has one. You know what I want to do? We're going to go to the beach on a dark night. Ideally, during a blackout would be perfect because then you really get a good view. But you've seen the moons of Jupiter, Europa. I think you showed me, and all four.
Yeah. I don't know Galileo or something, or I don't know all the names of them. I have a friend that knows everything, and He could even he tells us what the universe is, and it's very interesting. And you learn a lot. Like in weeks, you start learning everything. You know,
and it's
I've
amazing
yet to see a nebula or a galaxy.
The distance that these things are, in terms of how far away they are, and you can see them with a telescope. It's incredible that they're so far. I mean, what is Jupiter? 200 million miles away, or no more? Mars is 200 million. I think it's like I mean, we're talking like billions of miles, hundreds of millions of miles.
We're talking like hundreds of thousands of light years, like away. Yeah. And
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Rich.
No, you did what?
I saw my friend showed me. This was years ago. There was a nebula visible, and it was he told me how far away it was. It was basically if Christopher Columbus had left Earth to go there, he'd just be getting there now.
Wow.
Right? That's at light speed, right? Now think about this. The distance, so it's like 1,500 something plus light years away. And the distance, so if you had arrived at this point and then you wanted to go to the other end is 73 light years away, but I could see the whole thing in the telescope. I can't comprehend that. It's 73 light years across. That's hundreds of billions of miles. And the whole thing fits on the telescope?
It's a little eyepiece like this that magnifies it so you could see it, which is just crazy.
I can't believe it. I cannot comprehend I can comprehend the distances, but I can't comprehend that I'm seeing the whole thing in one little telescope.
Yes.
But I can see 73 light years worth of distance in a telescope. I can't comprehend that.
Give me what it would be like for Dr. Fauci to go tell me some astronomy facts.
Well, the Dr. Fauci impression I'm doing now, Rich Walker, is I'm doing Al Pacino as Dr. Fauci.
Oh, okay. Let's hear that.
Who better to play Dr. Fauci in a movie than Al Pacino?
You're right.
These distances are far. That 73 light years, damn. That's far away.
That's great. And what the fact is, that's great. What about who else are you working on? What's the big voice you're working on now?
The big voice I'm working on now is Andrew Cuomo. Now, I did Andrew Cuomo for you, and you're like the Yoda of impression coaching because
I can't do it myself. But I could hear it, I guess. So let's hear Cuomo.
Well, that's the important part. You can hear. So when we were in the car together, we'll tell the audience real quickly. 4 years ago, you and I are going up to that Starlight Diner, Skylight. I forget the
Skyline. Skyline and Windsor
Skyline. I'm thinking astronomy.
Who does great comedy shows, by the way? If you're in Connecticut, go ahead.
Fantastic, up in Bridgeport, not Bridgeport. Where the hell were they? They're in
Windsor Locks, Connecticut.
Connecticut. Right by the airport there.
Right.
So we were doing Trump in the car, and by the time we got up there, Rich Walker had coached me into a Trump impression.
Well, you're a natural. So give me some Andrew Cuomo. We want to hear. My wife loves Andrew Cuomo.
Here's the Cuomo impression. You ready?
Yeah.
Right. What we need to be doing is to stop the virus from spreading around that's the fact. So, like, he starts very slowly, but then he speeds up and it gets high pitched.
He speeds up. That's great. He speeds now up. You got it. Yeah.
He starts at like 1/4 speed. He'll go like, "What we need to be doing is slowing the spread of the virus." And how do we do that? How do we stop the spread of the virus? Wear a mask. Wear a mask. Wear a mask. So he's got different levels and different speeds.
That's perfect. Let's hear Andrew Cuomo, if you can, being that the theme is astronomy today.
Okay.
Calling down to Houston from the moon, Andrew Cuomo.
Oh, what if he was on Apollo 13?
Yes.
Like that, right? Houston, we have a problem, and I need federal assistance. We are losing oxygen. We have an explosion. The command module is totally dead. We have no power. We're losing oxygen. We need ventilators, and we can't wait 6 days. We'll be
He's
dead.
doing Andrew Como. That is great. Do a little bit more for my wife who just showed up.
All right, so I'll do the Apollo 13 bit again, right? Andrew Como on Apollo 13.
Andrew Como.
We'll do it again. Houston, we have a problem. We had an explosion and we're losing oxygen. And we need federal assistance very quickly because we're heading to the moon at 25,000 miles per hour. And we can't get back. We need to get into the lunar module, okay? The lunar module is our lifeboat. We need to power it up. Fredo, how long does it take? Oh, Fredo. Oh, my God, I just walked into that. Fredo is the other astronaut. And he calls they call his brother
Fredo. Yes. It's his co-pilot. And what does Fredo say?
I don't do him yet, but I just realized the connection. Fredo was Fred Hayes. That was Bill Paxton in the movie.
Right.
Fredo, how long does it take to power up the LEM? 3 hours by the checklist. We don't have that much time.
That's great. It sounds like he got a new bit brewing.
I'm going to put him in the celebrity Viagra bit in my app. I think. You know, I could say, what is erectile dysfunction and what is it doing to the people of New York State? And so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to try it out. If I ever get back on stage, I can try it out.
And talk about the Blackout. Are you worried about remembering your act?
Can I be honest with you? I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm a little
petrified.
worried. You know when the last time I performed was? In February. I haven't been on stage since February 22nd.
Right. Are you rusty when you miss a week and go on vacation and then get on stage?
I'm so concerned about what you just said that I'm going to be rehearsing I'm going to be rehearsing now because I want to make sure I have everything. That's a lot of rust. You know, we're professionals, but even players need to go to baseball players go to spring training to knock the rust off. You know.
Right. Well, it worries me.
I'm a little worried too. That's why I got to rehearse. I'm going to write it all down.
I need to walk and do my act while I'm walking because they say it's better for memorization when you're walking.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Well, you're a Rich Walker. You want to know.
Yeah. We're not listening to you. We're on a radio show. So that's cool. I have my whole family back in the car now listening. This is terrible. I forgot. I was thinking about it all day. I was moving from hour to hour. Right. And then we went to dinner. And then I'm like, oh, no. We ate at the Oakney Diner in Islip. Okay. Oakney. You know it?
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard of it.
And we ate outside on their deck. They fed us a lot of food. They gave us cookies and dessert and everything.
Hey, you know what? I'm glad your family's listening. I could use the additional audience.
He needs you to laugh a little bit. So laugh it up. So, yes. So what I've always admired about you, you have all these amazing characters, and you call everybody, a lot of people on their birthdays. Maybe I shouldn't say that on the air.
No, I do. I call them for their birthday, yes.
I've had Arnold Schwarzenegger call me on my birthday. I had Donald Trump said, I know I don't like him, but he's calling me anyway. You want to give me a little Donald for everybody?
First of all, Rich Walker's the best
Donald.
coach. He's the best coach for voices. He's the best. Nobody, let me tell you something. Rich Walker has done things with comedy that nobody's ever seen. Okay? He's brilliant. The Coles bit is brilliant. It's all brilliant. Unbelievable.
And now he has to turn on me like he does everybody else.
Well, you know what's funny? It's funny that you mentioned that. So I am trying to be sensitive during this current political climate. So what I try to if I know somebody likes or doesn't like a particular one, I'll do the right one for them. So I had forgotten that one of my friends is not a Como fan. So then it kind of gets fun when I do the wrong voice. If I do someone they don't like as opposed to someone they like. So occasionally it's hard to keep track though sometimes. And every time I do it, I try to do it very benign. Like with Como, you know what I do with my Como one? I tell people,
what?
Happy birthday. Don't blow on the candles because you could spread the virus. You could spread the virus. Blowing out your own birthday cake.
He said he speeds up Como again. Let me ask you a question. Can you do Chris Como yet?
Not yet. No, I'm working on that. He's tougher than the brother.
Rich?
The brother is more distinct. The voice,
Which one? Yeah, Andrew.
The voice
what about, can you do Rich Walker?
Very tough impression to do.
Why?
I'd have to shop at Kohl's more. I haven't been in the Kohl's. I can't do Rich Walker unless I shop at Kohl's.
I don't even shop Kohl's. All my clothes came from Macy's and Savers.
I haven't been inside a store other than like the supermarket or like if I had to get something from my house. I haven't been in a department store.
Lowe's.
Yeah, like a Home Depot. Lowe's. I haven't been in the store, and I don't really go out much. I get most of my stuff delivered.
Yeah. Are you big Amazon people in your house?
No, you know what pissed me off about Amazon? I'll be honest with you. There was so much Chinese-made, overpriced PPE on the site. Like I couldn't figure out what was like a real company and what was like cheap shit that didn't even match the picture. So I got rid of Amazon.
Well, you got to look at it. I only buy stuff with Amazon Prime, so I can bring it back. Guess where? Kohl's,
right?
They take all Amazon stuff, and you can just you put it back in the bag, and you bring it right back. I don't even hesitate. But I got my telescope in 3 days from and it came from Orion, the company that makes it in California.
Oh yeah.
But I got it through Amazon, and in 3 days it was at my house in a huge box. Free delivery. I don't understand how they even send that. It must cost that to deliver it.
Right. How much? What state did you get it from?
California came.
No,
and it was huge.
It is pronounced California. That is the California. It's fantastic.
What would Arnold Schwarzenegger sound like opening up a package and he's really happy that he got it in the mail?
This is fantastic. Look at the package. It looks great. Everything is in there. The parts are there. The batteries are included. All of those things like that. I love it.
The batteries included.
Like the Hess truck, they always give you the batteries.
Wait. The Hess truck you got. Tell us.
The batteries were included. They all come in the box, and they have the batteries for the accessory, the little cars. And then I got the big tractor trailer, and that had the batteries for the lights and the sirens and all of those things like that.
Wow, it's great. You know what I look like? The cover of a Queen album.
Or in Superman, the first Superman. They can't see us though, Rich. We're on the audio. But you look like in Superman.
Oh, right.
Guilty.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine.
Yeah, I remember when they were all in the glass, in the sheet of glass.
And then Superman, that teed up Superman 2 when they had to fight General Zod.
Yeah.
That was the best Superman.
The ones with Christopher Reeve were so good.
1 and 2 would have. Well, 2 was the best. 2 was better than 1.
Is that where Lois Lane dies?
No, she dies in 1.
Oh.
Then he's got to rewind the Earth.
Who was he fighting in 2? Lex Luthor?
No, it was General Zod. Well, yeah, Lex Luthor, but he teamed up with General Zod and the 2 criminals from Krypton with General Zod.
British actor that became famous off of that as the bad guy?
Terrence Stamp.
Right. Great.
That was an awesome movie. And when he's like, General Zod, you can't step outside. I love that.
The best. Yeah.
The best.
I don't know. Did you ever see any of the Superman movies? The original? They were great. I hated Batman versus Superman. That was like terrible.
Oh, thank you. Horrible. First of all, they both work for DC Comics. They would never allow them to fight.
It's ridiculous.
They have the same publisher.
Right. What about can you do like Christian Bale
in Batman? Yeah. First of all, I'm actually working on a bit because I do Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman, and Christian Bale. So I'm working on a bit where he's Batman.
Michael Caine, Christian Bale, and Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman from The Dark Knight.
Okay.
So the premise is, this is a movie I'm going to film soon. The premise is that there's a joke thief, the Joker. He's stealing jokes from comedians. So the only way Batman can find him is by tapping into every microphone in the New York area, every comedy microphone. So as soon as his voice appears, he finds the joke thief. He can go get him. So remember when Morgan Freeman said, "This is too much power for one comedian to have." He goes, "That's why I'm giving it to you. When you're done, type in your name." He's like, "My first name, my last name, or what?" "Your first name, then your last name." It's like he gives him the instructions.
That is great. It sounds just like him.
But I don't know, Master Rich. Why did Batman? I did Bruce
What
Wayne.
was your hardest impression, and who's the easiest?
Well, for the Batman, Michael Caine was kind of tough, but I got down my Michael. I think my Michael Caine is pretty damn good into Batman, and then I do Bane from Batman. Do you know Bane from The Dark Knight?
Of course, the mask.
Yes. What are you doing, Rich Walker? You went out to dinner and you nearly missed the show.
I'm so sorry. But Bane sounds a lot like who's the actor who plays Bane? Because it sounds exactly like Sean Connery.
It's a little bit like Sean Connery. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got that lisp a little bit like Sean.
Lisp.
Well, the thrush. What do they call that?
My favorite line is when he goes, "Let the games begin."
Yes.
So we do a lot of movie trivia on the show, Rich Walker. We've been doing movies a lot.
Love it.
So I think we're going to do an Iron Eagle episode soon. Carlo Valerio on his show is getting the guys from Iron Eagle for a reunion. He's getting Jason Gedrick, who played the kid, and he's getting Louis Gossett Jr.
Really?
Did you see Iron Eagle? You saw Iron Eagle, right?
No. What is it about?
Oh, you never saw Iron Eagle?
Tell the audience and me.
Iron Eagle is a movie about a kid in high school. His father gets shot down. He's an Air Force colonel. Gets shot down. And they don't say the country, but everybody knows it's Libya. So he's a POW in Libya. So the Air Force is like, it's too risky to get him. He steals an F-16 with Louis Gossett Jr., and they fly over to get him out.
How old is that movie? What year?
86. It came out in January of 1986. That was the year. I think Rich froze. Odyssey, Houston. There he is.
Now we're back.
Rich is back. We're back. January of 1986 it came out. I see Rich, but I don't hear him. We apologize.
I can get that on my Fire Stick.
Yes, I think, yes. Iron Eagle came out January 86. We got him?
We're stuck at a light. And as soon as I get past this light, you'll hear me.
Then we'll have better reception. So do you know what other aviation movie came out in 1986?
Can you hear me say what I said?
Yes, I heard you.
Hold on. 1 minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will pause. We'll take a commercial.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. We were stuck where there was no...
And we lost Rich again. So this is like exactly what was happening to me a few weeks ago, where I couldn't connect via data because my Wi-Fi had gone out. So we'll just bear with us a little bit until Rich comes back, and we got Rich back. Now we got Rich back. So, Rich, so 1986 January is when Iron Eagle came out.
I'm going to watch that on Fire Stick.
You're going to love it. It's the best movie. What other movie came out in 1986 that was aviation related?
Did you hear about this movie called Circle?
Circle? No, but does it keep going round and round?
Yes. It's about a carousel in an amusement park. And
okay.
No, it's not.
It's about a carousel. I believed you.
Right. So you love all these Marvel, and you love DC or Marvel better?
Oh, I like DC better. I mean, I don't not. Yeah, you're DC too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Batman, Superman. I love Wonder Woman. But I don't really like, and then Aquaman. Like, I think they should just make one massive Justice League movie, like a real good one. Not with those stupid villains from the other one. That super guy.
Convoluted. The last one was so bad.
Yes. Just get the Penguin, the Riddler, the Joker, all the villains from all of the characters, and make one big movie. Just one more, because all the superhero movies are becoming the same.
Yeah, and they all do that thing where they jump and they land and they crush the ground and they're on one knee. You know that?
Yeah, I hate that. It's ridiculous already.
Everything is cliche in those movies.
It's too cliche. I want it to be really. See, that's where the Dark Knight movies were better, because they were better. They were like real. They were like the real Batman.
There was a comic years ago had a joke that his friend doesn't like Batman because he went to a movie with him and Batman jumped his motorcycle from one building to another. And he goes, this is unbelievable. He goes, what part of the Batman theory concept have you believed up until this point that now it's unbelievable because he jumped from one building to another?
I'm a big James Bond fan, and I'm watching it with a friend of mine. And James Bond, there was Pierce Brosnan, The World Is Not Enough, when he's on the River Thames, and he's chasing, and he skips the boat on the roadway, and then he goes back into the water, like he takes a shortcut through a building. And someone goes, "That's not realistic." I'm like, what about James Bond is realistic? Like a watch that can do all that stuff. It's a grappling hook. It's a bomb. It's all this stuff. It's got poison darts. And if you notice something, in the James Bond movies, he always has the perfect device for that situation. Shouldn't he always have poison darts in the watch? Shouldn't he always? He'd have to carry so much equipment, because how do you know what you're going to need when you need it? You have to carry the pen that explodes with the bomb.
Do you remember, Do you remember the old Batman shows from '69 on?
Of course.
But he always had. Remember, he gets the shark attack, and then he goes, "Good thing I had the shark repellent on his belt."
Right. You know how much that belt would have? You'd have to have everything.
It did.
So I don't know if you've seen my Bat Trump videos, like where I dress up as Donald Trump with Batman. Have you seen those?
Yes, of course. They're fantastic.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to do another one. You remember the original Batman with Michael Keaton when he rescues Vicky Vale from the Joker, and he goes, "How much do you weigh?" Remember that? She was about 108. Remember that one?
Yes.
So I'm going to say,
I rescued Vicky Vale from the Joker. Okay, rescued Vicky Vale. And by the way, I asked Vicky, "How much do you weigh?" She said, "About 108. And I said, "I think you weigh a little bit more than 108. I think you lie. I think that's fake news." And not too bright, that Vicky, because I told her, Rich Walker, I rescued Vicky Vale. I said, "Get in the car." She goes, "Which car?" "I don't know. Maybe the one that looks like a bat. I don't know. I mean, what? No, get in the Chevy. Of course the Batmobile. What are you, stupid?" She actually said, "Which car?" I'm like, "Are you kidding? Which car?"
Well, I was reading the book that Adam West wrote, called Back to the Batcave. I don't know if you ever bought that book or read it. But he took the part because, he had a career going in spaghetti westerns as a cowboy, and he was doing very well. And then he got swindled into doing Batman. He had a contract with the network. Was it ABC? Yeah. And,
ABC.
What?
Yeah, it was ABC, I think. Yep.
Right. And so he took the part, but the line in the script was Batman walks into a restaurant. And he said, Adam West in full the cowl, all the Batman suit, and he goes in and he's looking around for somebody. And they said, Batman, can we get you a table? And he goes, no, I'm going to go into the bar where nobody will notice me. Can you do Adam West, by the way?
No, but that would be a good one to do, right?
That's easy. You could do that.
I liked Michael Keaton as Batman, too.
A sick and deranged woman. Right, oh chump. Everything was very dramatized,
Yes, it was almost like William Shatner. It was very dramatic.
Give me William Shatner.
So far, we've not found any intelligent life on the planet.
That's great.
I'm beaming aboard the USS Rich Walker, named for a great astronomer.
Why do you think it is that he was billed as such a bad actor? But he wasn't.
Well, George Takei hates him.
Why?
Because I saw interviews with George Takei talking about Shatner, and he's like, Bill would never let us do anything. It was always him. The camera always had to be on him. It was he had to be in every shot. And George Takei hated him. At William Shatner's roast, George Takei said, Bill, F you. He just started going off on Shatner. It was amazing.
So he had nothing nice to say about it.
Nothing.
Rich, it was horrible.
Well, I understand, he was arrogant. He was probably arrogant, no?
Yeah, but what did he really do before Star Trek? He was on that Twilight Zone episode with the airplane with the monster.
Yeah. That was one of the best episodes ever. They used that in all their promos.
And that was in the movie, the one with Dan Aykroyd and what was it? It was Dan Aykroyd.
Shatner.
A lot of famous people. No, in the Twilight Zone, the movie that came out in 82, 83.
Yeah, the one where Rip Torn got killed.
Rip Torn.
Yeah, when the making of the Twilight Zone movie.
Oh, Vic Morrow. That was Vic Morrow.
Vic Morrow he got his head cut off by the helicopter.
Yeah, by the helicopter. Yeah, that was terrible. That was awful. But that was a good movie, though.
That was Landis made that.
Landis made it. You know what was cool about that movie? When because Vic Morrow was like the racist guy. He hated each group that he hated. They put him in their shoes. That was amazing.
Yeah, right. You're being rude. I love that. You want to see something really scary?
Oh, yeah.
That was the very beginning, right?
Yes. Well, they do it at the beginning and the end, I think, right? Yeah. Doesn't it? Yeah, they do. Yeah, that movie was incredible. And who was in that? She was in Apollo 13. What was her name? With the one with the kid. I like that one. I like We got it. Oh, here's my Scatman Crothers. You ready? We got to kick the can. Kick the can. Yes. Remember Kick the Can?
I don't remember. Is that in that movie?
Yes, it was with the elderly, the nursing home. Scatman Crothers. We gotta kick the can.
That was awesome.
That was a great movie.
Very good. So, who else have you been working on? Anybody? I can't wait to see you again, work with you, and do some shows.
I can't wait. I can't wait to get back on that stage. As long as I don't forget my act.
Remember that show and my tooth came out? Yes. You were there, right? That was at the club.
Which club?
There was a country club, I think, for John LaRocchia. And my tooth came out that day. And I had no tooth.
Oh, yeah.
And we sat at the table with Manny.
Yep.
Yeah.
My favorite Manny line is, let's just get this out of the way. Is anybody heading towards Stony Brook? I love that line.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's, Paul Bond told me about a guy who does a line. I forget the name of the character. He comes out like disheveled, and he comes out to the microphone, and his first line is, "Did I do the joke about Florida yet?" And
it's Max Alexander who passed away.
Yes, I got to write that down. I got to watch that video. Max Alexander.
Well, when I saw him, he came off of a stroke. I think he had heart problems. He's good friends with Joe Starr. And he, you could see he wasn't in good health. And I was there that night, brokerage. He came out, and he just goes like this. He's looking around, and he doesn't say a word. And he goes, the first words into the mic, like after 5 minutes of silence, just looking around the room like he's lost, like an old man that's lost. And he goes, did I tell you about Florida yet?
That's
like deadpan. It was so funny. The audience,
brilliant.
You want to talk about pulling the pin on the grenade? It was like unbelievable.
But was he really? I thought it was an act. Did he really have a problem?
Yeah, he went through a lot. But
okay. I thought it was just an act.
He might have done all that before, his troubles. Right. But I guess Joe Starr is the best one to talk about. Max. I don't know Max that well, but he was a legend.
Yeah, no, I heard about that.
Like 25 times or something.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
What are you eating there? What do you got there?
These are called cinnamon sticks.
Oh, nice.
Don't be rude to me. And him. My son wants to come over. He wants to be on the show.
Well, we're not on video, tell him. It's just
You're
audio.
not on video. We're voice.
We're a radio show. I did that because I have a face for radio. And
you do voices,
I do voices. I want the voices to be the thing.
I heard Charlie McCarthy and Edgar Bergen with the ventriloquist. They had their own show. Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, a radio show. And people would actually think Charlie McCarthy was another person. They didn't know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, look it up.
I could get away with doing that.
It sounded like two people were doing the show when he did it.
Right. Well, sometimes, like when I first started this show, and I got away from that format fast, I would just do the show myself, and I would do all the voices. Like I would do Tom Brokaw doing the news.
Yeah.
But then we got the real Tom Brokaw, so I didn't have to do it anymore. But then I like having a co-host. The show is more fun, I think, for me and for the audience by having another person on the show.
Even though you have over 100-something co-hosts at any given time.
Yeah, I think it's hard. You know what it is? It's easier to do the material when I'm playing off another person. I'm working with another person. Like you and I had a conversation about astronomy, which was interesting and funny.
By the way, look.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. I can see it. The audience can't see it. That is incredible.
Yeah. It's huge.
Can I ask you a question? Because a lot of people don't know how relatively inexpensive telescopes are and what you can see with them. Can I ask you how much was that telescope?
Okay, you could get this is an Orion 90 millimeter refractor telescope. There's a difference between a reflector and a refractor. Reflector is those big ones that look like a big a tube, like a big 8-inch tube. You ever see those? Those work on mirrors. This is lenses, so it's called a refractor. It works off a reflection, refracting off each other. I don't understand what any of that means. So I got like one of the biggest refractors you can get, which is about 3.5 inches, or they call it 90 millimeter. And then after that, you go into the mirror ones, which is a reflector. And a reflector, you have to be able to adjust the mirrors when they... Are you still there?
I'm here.
Yeah. When you move it and stuff like that, you have to readjust. And I didn't want to get involved with all that. So I stuck with this size. But I'm able to see let me tell you, this one is about $250. Now
that's relatively inexpensive.
But what gets expensive is when you start buying the lenses, you know, the eyepieces. So an eyepiece, you know, they give you a 20 millimeter and a 10 millimeter. A 20 millimeter would be for a wide shot, long shot, far away. And then to zoom in, you got to go with a 10 millimeter or a 6 or whatever. But after you get under 10, it's very difficult to see. So each one of those eyepieces are about $30 to $40. But they can go up to, I'm not making this up, $800 for an eyepiece, a thing that you look through.
Wow.
Because this is what gives the planets clarity. You could see colors through some, and they're multi-layered, and there's so much. They're very, very involved.
Can you tell them? Because when I remember looking at Saturn, I remember looking at like it was like a white disc with a ring around it. It wasn't really the colors. Can you tell the audience why you don't see the color like you would in some of the pictures that they may have seen of those planets?
Well, first of all, you're so far away. They say every planet, when it's that far away, it comes in one color or like one dimensional. Like I was looking at, I don't know if Mars, how many colors is Mars? Just orange or red?
Mostly red, but different gradients of it, but mostly red, yeah.
Well, I saw Mars the other night, and tonight, Jupiter is it Saturn or Jupiter tonight? Something's Mars.
I saw Jupiter last night. I'm looking out my window right now because I can see. Oh, there's too much glare, but I can see Jupiter in the southern sky usually, and it's very bright. And then usually Saturn is to the left. I use Skywalk on the iPhone, and I point the phone up towards what I'm looking at. Sky View, and it shows me what it is.
Right, shows you the constellations too. It's great.
Everything. And if something's passing over, like a space station or a satellite or something, I get that too.
Yeah. I got to go outside. My family's very rude.
No, I don't even hear them.
Oh. I don't know. See, my kids don't get along nicely like your kids. I'm outside now. But yeah, so you got to figure you could go low. You could get started for about 150. Anything under that in a telescope is going to be a toy.
Yeah, and the thing I sent you, that one article that I sent you, and I'll put it up for the audience after the show, is the different views that you can see of the planets with the different powers of telescope and what they look like how much you can see. And it's really kind of cool because this is what you can see at that level of telescope. That's what you can see. So I would like to get like a Hubble. Like how much would it cost to put one in orbit?
I think probably about $2 billion.
$2 billion. So that's a little more money. That doesn't come by Amazon.
I read somewhere that it was like $4 billion or something to do the Hubble, but they said well worth it. And if people, they don't understand what a Hubble telescope is, they said that our atmosphere is so cloudy.
Yes, thick.
And with different, it's congested.
Yes.
From our ground.
But the Hubble's in space, right? So that's why it eliminates that and gets way clearer pictures from much further. I think Rich froze. Odyssey, Houston?
John, I'm back.
He's back.
But they said that, how far did we get with the Hubble?
Oh, way out. Like hundreds of billions of miles out that they could see.
No, I meant how far did we get with the conversation on the Hubble?
Oh, just that it was it's outside of our atmosphere, and you were explaining that the distortion is gone because it's outside of the atmosphere.
Right, and then that's where they get their clear shot. So Earth, you have a little bit of a struggle. You have to have clear skies to be able to see. I don't know how interesting it is to a lot of people, but you know, a lot of my neighbors came over. I live in a condo, and I allowed them to see the moon and, you know, Jupiter and stuff like that. Yeah. And it just blows your mind because it's not out of a book. It's in real time. It's right in front of you.
Real time. It was surreal looking at Saturn when I saw it through my friend's telescope.
With the rings, oh my God,
with the rings, it's so far away. And I could actually see in between the rings and the planet, I could see like space in between there, like a little black area of space. And I'm like, what's beyond that? It's so far, away.
Well, Saturn, through my telescope, is a little ball with a ring around it, and you see like a black space between the rings.
Yeah, you can see the space. Yeah. I think he froze.
Yeah, I think
we're coming up on 10 o'clock.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap
anyway.
it up anyway.
Yeah, we're coming up on the end of the show. Hopefully, we'll get Rich back for the grand finale close. But you know what, Rich? I had Tony Soprano do a segment about Pluto.
Oh, let me hear it.
Tony
I want to learn.
Look, I don't give a shit what those astronomy guys say. Pluto's a freaking planet. End of subject.
And the subject.
End
One
of
of the
subject.
nothing for nothing, G.
Nothing for nothing, Tom. That's far distance.
That's so funny.
I wanted to do a bit where I had the Sopranos, Paulie, Silvio, and Tony on an Apollo mission, like they were Apollo 13, and then I have Bobby Bacalao as the mission control.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
How could they be losing oxygen? This is bad. It's like, hey, Tom, we better get the spacecraft under control. I'm gonna puke.
That's great. Are you going to do that?
I don't know. I got to figure out how I can do all this stuff. NASA turned me down to film down there, but we'll see. We'll work on them again.
Well, we got to work on it. We got to work on working together, and then maybe I'll take the next cruise you take when we go cruising again. We loved that. That was
I enjoyed it.
Which ship was that? The Jade?
We were on the Jade. I had booked the Something of the Seas because that was the only one that had Bermuda. Was the biggest ship. But I don't like the big ships. Somebody said that they're very crowded.
Well, we went on the big ship, and it was 4,000-something passengers. And they were unable to accommodate everybody. It was everybody running every different direction. You had to make reservations for every restaurant. It was overcrowded. If you didn't go the day before to get your reservations for the next night, you're not going in. It was bad. But we found that the Jade was more personable. We loved it. And not only that, it's nice to see some of the same people again. If you and I were on that big ship, like the Breakaway or wherever, we would never see each other, ever. You know? And it was easier to get on and off the boat. You know, we're done?
We're done. It's 10 o'clock. It flew by.
Well, I owe you 10 minutes.
No,
next time. Next time. I owe you 10 more.
Thank you to my guest astronomer and comedian, Rich Walker, special guest co-host. As always, thank you to my producer, Bobby. Without Bobby, I don't have a show. And
Bobby's great. Thank you for your patience, Bobby. I'm sorry about before.
You got it. No problem.
Someday we're going to all make Bobby happy with everything that we do technology-wise and format-wise. One day I hope to have a perfect – I get like an A+ from Bobby on everything. But we'll see. But next week we'll be back with another episode. Next week is July 20th. That is the anniversary of the moon landing. So we'll do something on that. Until then, thank you for listening to the radio. And we're clear when Bobby says we're clear.
Thank you, John. Thanks for having me on.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, Bobby.